Greetings and salutations, my brothers, and welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Last time we... What the hell did we do? Oh, we discovered that Inspector Gregson went to Paris, apparently. Was that all of our conclusions? Yeah, we found Gregson's trunk. Oh, we got the Asogi papers, which was the will, apparently. But there's one thing that was missing, which I think it's in Kuruma. Because for some goddamn reason, they left him the sword while imprisoned. Certainly is a strange decision. Ah, that's broken. Oh, fun. Well, guess I don't have a chat today. Well, don't want to start over here anyways. That's pretty much it. We just discovered that Gregson went to Paris. Or France, not Paris. The day before his body was discovered, apparently. And apparently... Genshin Asogi wrote another sheet that is incriminating to whatever the hell happened. Oh, and what's his name? Mel Strongheart told the current I want to say Undertaker, that's not right. Coroner, that's the word. Coroner. Mel Strongheart told the coroner, Maria Gori, to not put the date of death, or the time of death, because he said it was, quote-unquote, obvious. She says it's indeterminate, because the body shows signs of not decaying, while the fish and chips in his jacket shows signs of rotting. Okay, that's all the conclusion we have. There's corruption at the top again. 2nd November. Show'em Suite.
Herr mit dem Schwarzbiergebot, brodend wie ein Feuerberg, den Schlund des mir verbrannt, ach Hopfen deine Wut. Herr mit dem Knacker, ich befahl.
Let's get a crap out of me.
Wie ein Diamant.
What on earth is going on here? Am I having a bad dream? Ah, no. It's an old German folk song. Or the fine rendition, I think. That's the least of my concerns. Iris? Iris? What's the matter? Oh, she knows.
Den Schlund es mir verbrannt, ach Hopfen deine
who is that sprawling, that relaxed gentleman over there?
Dem Knacker ich befahl, hat wie ein
Iris,
Diamant.
Is she even listening?
Excuse
Excuse me, sir. I do apologize for troubling you while you're singing so merrily, but would you be kind enough to explain the situation?
Well,
that worked.
A
crooning gentleman and a mute young girl. A rather tantalizing juxtaposition. And one that appears to have incited the gods of deduction within me to find their voices too. Ah, Mr. Sholmes, do you mean? The strains of reasoning within me are playing now as a delightful duet. One melody sings a reunion of full of nostalgia. whilst the other is a morose theme about the great secret you're trying so desperately to conceal, Iris. She turned white as a sheet. So as usual, you've instantly steamed to the very heart of the matter. Forgot to check my mic levels. And by the time my own brief performance is over, I feel sure this gentleman's song will reach its finale. So then, to Musicland, where all is sweetness and delicacy and harmony. Pray, do enjoy Herlock Sholmes' latest Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. The Great Deduction. Begin with the foot. Topic 1. Man's identity. Firstly, we consider the gentleman's nationality. Clearly, he's a German, with no grasp of the English language. As evidenced by the Germanic song he sings and his apparent inability to understand when asked to desist. So, why is the man here at all? And in such apparently high spirits? The answer, of course, Iris, is clearly known to you. Indeed, we need only follow the gaze of those bright young eyes to unravel that particular part of this mystery. The reason for the man's mildly irritating warblings is revealed by the herbal tea. You obviously offered our German guests a cup of your latest herbal blend. The tea's delectable flavor has made the man's spirits soar, and resulted in this joyful ditty tumbling incessantly from his lips. I eagerly await sampling the flavor myself, that I may join the fellow in his state of elation. Now, to the next question. Who exactly is this gentleman, availing himself so thoroughly of the psyche? As it happens, a number of years ago now, a certain gentleman of German origin engaged my services in solving a particularly delicate case. He required the retrieval of letters once sent to an acquaintance that might have proved problematic. In order to conceal his noble identity, he also arrived at my office in a mask. The gentleman's name was William Gottsreich Sigmund von Ormstein, the King of Germany. If my memory serves, the mask worn by this gentleman is identical. Yes, there can be no question. That mask belongs to the King of Germany. And that kind of mess. It would appear that His Majesty remembers the fine service I afforded him, and has decided to show his face again, mask and all, in order to express his gratitude. A well-married monarch indeed. Wouldn't you agree, my dear fellow? I thought Professor Mikotoba. So the identity of this masked visitor is in fact my former client, the King of Germany. Indeed, his son is currently in London as well, enjoying the wonders of the Great Exhibition. Conclusion: the King of Germany. Top 2. Girl silence. Which leaves us with one remaining imponderable. Yes, you are young Iris. But your apparent inexplicable silence is unable to hide the truth. Yes, the reason for your muteness is concealed inside that knapsack. A £5 note, I believe, I must say. As your compatriot, I'm deeply saddened. It would appear that you've allowed yourself to be bribed into silence by His Royal Highness, earning yourself some spending money in exchange for keeping quiet about the King's secrets. And now, the final piece of the puzzle. What is the secret you strive to hide with your silence, Aris? Ah, yes. We need only follow that brief, involuntary twitch of your eyes to find the answer. You are attempting to abscond with that coffee cup. My favorite coffee cup, in fact. Or should I say, the handle of my favorite coffee cup. It appears that His High-Spirited Highness broke it in the midst of his hijinks. Which leads us to the sad truth. My favorite coffee cup has been broken by the King of Germany, and Aris, you tried to conceal it from me. I shall have a bill sent via governmental channels to the German royal family for its replacement. Conclusion. To hide the coffee cup. Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this painful puzzle.
Mit dem Schwarzbiergebot, brodend wie ein Feuerberg, den Schlund es mir
With your silence as well, the fellow's jovial warbling rather rings in the ears, does it not? Mr. Holmes, I must say something does rather trouble me. Pray, Mrs. Tusado, do tell. His Royal Highness does it appear to have moved a muscle since we arrived. Ah. And you haven't said a word either, Aris. If Mr. Holmes has it all right, you might as well own up to it now. Your reasoning isn't entirely without substance, I must admit. And one other thing, Mr. Holmes. Yet another grievance, Mr. Naruto? Surely not. Well, I actually read the story of that case recently. The one you were just describing. And according to that, at least, it wasn't the King of Germany. It was the King of Bohemia. Goodness, was it? Yes, that's quite true, Master Gotts. The prince testified that in court. In his words, I have come to see the great exhibition all the way from my home in Bohemia. I would ask you keep that minor error to yourselves. It could easily become quite a scandal. I believe, Miss Naruto.
Den Schlund es mir verbrannt, ach Hopfen deine Wut.
It's now our turn. It's our turn now to make some corrections to a number of minor errors that may have slipped in. Yes, even Mr. Holmes is willing to admit he might be slightly wide of the mark this time. Although it's clear that ours is definitely hiding something. We need to find out the truth behind this mysterious scene. But one truth is incontrovertible. The favorite coffee cup is no more. So, shall we embark again on a joint presentation of Sherlock Holmes' Logic and Reasoning Spectacular? Course correction! Hold it, Mr. Holmes! Step 1. The man's identity. Firstly, we consider the gentleman's nationality. Clearly, he's a German, with no grasp of the English language.
as evidenced by the Germanic song he sings, and his apparent inability to understand when asked to desist. So, why is the man here at all, and in such apparently high spirits? The answer, of course, Iris, is clearly known to you. Indeed, we need only follow the gaze of those bright, young eyes to unravel that particular part of this mystery. The reason for the man's mildly irritating warbling is revealed by the herbal tea.
So what? It's some mix of herbs that give you the urge to sing?
Goodness, I should like to try some.
And I'd like to hear you sing. And I'd like to hear your singing by this man. Just how long does he intend to keep up with that tune, do you suppose?
As I said, he's been stock still the entire time. And if you look closely, his lips aren't moving either.
Ah,
So I'm not sure what's actually responsible for the spirited singing. But I suspect the answer lies at the end of Iris' gaze.
surely the gramophone.
Take that!
The gramophone. The reason for the man's mildly irritating warbling is revealed by the gramophone.
Indeed, for no well-bred gentleman would break into an obscure folk song when making a social call. In other words, the gentleman isn't singing at all, in fact. It would appear that the fellow is unconscious.
Ah, the music seems to have stopped now.
I asked you, Mr. Naruto,
Yes?
why would I have purchased a recording of that gibberish?
How should I know?
Well, never mind. On with the deduction. Who exactly is this gentleman, availing himself so thoroughly of the settee? As it happens, a number of years ago now, a certain gentleman of German origin engaged my services in solving a particularly delicate case. He required the retrieval of letters that once sent to an acquaintance that might have proved problematic. In order to conceal his noble identity, he also arrived at my office and asked. The gentleman's name was William Gosrek Sigmund von Ornstein, the King of Germany. If my memory serves, the mask worn by this gentleman is identical. Yes, there can be no question. That mask belongs to the King of Germany.
Although we've already established that it was actually the King of Bohemia.
It seems Mr. Sholmes intends to persist with his Germany theory for some reason.
Come to think of it, the young prince was wearing a mask as well, was he?
Master Gotts, the boy whom you had in tears?
Don't remind me. Or anyone else.
Do you suppose all members of the aristocracy of mainland Europe wear masks?
I'm sure they do. Well, probably. Anyway. The point is, that mask doesn't belong to any king.
No, that's right. As we all well know. Because we can identify the true owner of this mask. Take that!
Yes, there can be no question. That mask belongs to Kazuma Asogi.
In other words, my memory is sublimely unreliable.
Only you could try to make that sound positive. Kazuma's mask has been languishing on this metal chest for several days. Though that doesn't explain why this gentleman is wearing it now.
But it is now a simple matter to determine our guest's true identity. After all, the gentleman is unconscious. We need only excuse ourselves in advance. Gently lift the mask and peer beneath it.
Yep, that's VTuber.
I don't believe it. Ah! Father! I'm afraid, Mr. Shadow, you must be mistaken. No, I think not, Mr. Jones. Then it would appear our logic and reasoning has once again revealed the truth. This mysterious visitor is my unconscious father, Eugene Nikotoba.
Logic and reasoning? Or just looking and saying? Conclusion. Eugene Nikotoba. Solved! Top 2. Girl solids.
Which leaves us with one remaining imponderance. Yes, you, young Iris. But your apparently inexcusable silence is unable to hide the truth. Yes, the reason for your muteness is concealed inside that knapsack.
So that's the £5 note. So that's the £5 note sticking out of Iris's knapsack, is it?
Oh dear. I can't be sure. Most money that we encounter is in coin form.
No. I'm not even sure we've seen any banknotes here in Britain at all, have we?
But anyway, Father would never have paid money for Iris' silence.
He certainly seems like the silent type himself, though, judging by his present state.
There must be some other reason for Iris' silence, I suppose. Perhaps what Iris is trying so hard not to give away with her eyes is something entirely different.
Is it the chess?
Take that!
Oh, it is. Okay, cool. Yes, the reason for your muteness is concealed inside that metal chest.
An excellent observation. Upon closer inspection, there is something different about the chest's appearance. It's kept locked at all times, yet now the catch is open. Evidently, this has something to do with your refusal to speak, Iris. But it's a simple enough matter to incite you to speak, I'm sure. I merely need to open this chest. Here we go. No! Hurley, don't!
Mr. Sholmes!
Mr. Sholmes, Hurley!
He's dead.
Never. Oh, Hurley, I told you not to open it.
Ah, so you found your voice now, Iris. In other words, what just happened clearly reveals the truth here. Yes, the real reason for your silence until now is...
This is somewhat different from the usual dance of deduction you perform with Mr. Sholmes, isn't it?
Well, he's left me alone on the ballroom floor, so I'm going to have to dance the next part solo. But anyway, I need to get to the bottom of this for my own peace of mind. Now then, Iris isn't usually the silent type, so...
You mean you don't actually know the answer yet? Despite knowing despite the knowing point of the finger before.
Mr. Sato, sometimes a man needs to point his finger first and think later.
Oh, well, if you say so. I think you better examine Iris more closely and try to rescue the situation then.
What's the key she's holding? Look. I'm sure that wasn't in her hands before, was it?
No, you're quite right. It appears as if by magic.
That's strange. A big, old iron key? Where did it materialize from?
Take that!
Yes, the real reason for your silence until now is that key behind your back.
Ah!
When Mr. Sholmes was thrown into the air before, just before you called out to try to stop him, you slipped something from your out of your mouth. That something is the key now in your hands. No doubt the key to the chest.
You're so clever, Bruno.
So now it becomes clear. Thanks to Mr. Sholmes' graphic demonstration, we can well imagine what happened here.
But...
Professor Mikotoba also opened the metal chest, only to be punched into the air. And land sprawled on the settee.
But wait, that doesn't explain all the facts. What about the stylish scarf and the cup of tea? And above all, why would he be wearing Kazuma-sama's mask?
Well, for those curious details, I can think of only one explanation. Clearly, an unbelievable miracle took place in this room. Isn't that right, Iris? Oh. I am. Consider how the room was arranged before this whole painful experience took place. When Professor Mikotoba opened the chest, completely unaware of what awaited him inside, he didn't move anything? The mask was flung into the air just as he was, only to land. The mask was flung into the air just as he was, only to land nearly on his face when it fell back down. And the teacup's journey through the air ended when it caught on the unconscious professor's finger.
You mean to say that stylish scarf?
It's actually just a tablecloth. This is the Great Detective's office, after all, a place of miraculous deductions. Would you expect anything less?
Yes, you're right. It happened exactly as you said. Brilliant, Bruno.
Thus concludes Renosuke Naruhodo's great deduction of this punchy puzzle.
So then, why do I make a fresh pot of tea for us all?
Objection!
Oh,
An admirable performance, Mr. Naruhodo. But in the final act of the show there, you rather missed everything of importance.
Mr. Sholmes!
If you would cast your mind back to my earlier deduction. Iris, clearly you're hiding a great secret. Ah!
She is? From the look on her face. Mr. Sholmes must be right. Whatever that great secret is, the cat is now the baggage.
So I put it to you again. You were attempting to abscond with that coffee cup. It really is a shame about Mr. Shone's cup. It must have been smashed when Professor Muratoba opened the chest. Oh dear. So many things seem to have been broken here. But now that deduction has taken a different direction, ours doesn't seem to be trying to hide the broken cup anymore. In other words, the right secret is something else. Let's put our observational skills to work here one final time then. Mr. Shone's favorite cup. All what's left of it. Just the handle. It was obviously hurled into the air along with Professor Muratoba. If only it had been this cup that caught on his finger before it hit the floor. Yes, but anyway, whatever Iris is trying to hide, it's clearly not this handle. Surely this time, at last, the knapsack is going to be the answer. I'm really not sure why you're so intent on showing Iris' bag to be complicit in these events. Because it's a sizable bag. Big enough for a sizable... Big enough to carry things around, Mr. Naruto. That's what bags are for. So, the knapsack might never see the limelight, you mean? I really wouldn't like to say. What about the piece of paper? Wait, what's that? That's not part of the mystery? These two chalices? Wait, does she have a mark on her shin? No. Oh, okay, sneaky Iris. Sneaky, sneaky. Ah, look! There! There seems to be more papers there. Is Iris trying to hide them underneath the tray? The insignia, Mr. Naruto. It's an official Scotland Yard document. What? But why would Iris have? We must ask her. An official Scotland Yard document.
Take that!
You were attempting to abscond with that case file.
Iris, as you know very well, nothing escapes the attention of a great detective. Oh no!
We visited Scotland Yard's autopsy laboratory earlier today, and Dr. Gorey informed us that the autopsy report of Clint Van Zieks had gone missing.
Clint Van Zieks. Yes, I do seem to recall. About 7 years ago, I asked to see the report in question. You were with me, weren't you, Iris? Hi.
You mean it was you, Iris? So those papers you have there are...
I'm sorry. Forgive me.
Oh crap, I missed that. Sorry, my phone kind of died. And like, lost the ability to see his memory card. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on there. Eh, it's back. Okay, false alarm, I guess. Maybe that update fixed it.
In truth. I would like to have... I would like to have thought I could have predicted the booby-trapped chess. But it caught me completely off guard. I was very nearly the late consulting detective, Sherlock Holmes. I'm sorry, Hurley.
So you mean this autopsy report really is?
Yes, I took it from the lab, even though I knew it was very important. Was there something in it that troubled you, Iris? Not exactly something that troubled me. Something I've been looking for. When I saw this report, when I saw the writing in it, I knew it was Daddy's.
The writing?
Your father's writing? What do you mean?
Iris? It must be something that's hard for her to talk about.
Forgive me for interrupting, my dear fellows.
Mr. Holmes, was it?
I feel as though the poor, unconscious gentleman on the settee has been somewhat forgotten. Ah, father! Perhaps we should find our guest somewhere more peaceful to rest. Mr. Naruto,
Yes?
would you be so kind as to lend me your bed? Would you be so kind as to lend him your bed? We must do our very best to make him comfortable, I feel.
Oh, yes, of course. I'll help you carry him up.
So will I. No, I can manage alone, thank you. You have tea to enjoy. We wouldn't want Iris's bruises, too.
Because there's no better way to make the professor comfortable than dragging him upstairs like a trunk. I wonder. Perhaps that was deliberate. Maybe Mr. Holmes is making himself scarce to give Iris the chance to talk more freely.
We must use this opportunity to talk with Iris. And find out what's going on.
Your daddy! Would you like to tell us about it, Iris? About your father?
I'm sure I told you before, didn't I? That Daddy used to be Hurley's partner. Yes. And the notes about all the cases they solved together are kept inside that metal chest.
That's a lot louder than I thought it was gonna be. And that's a lot stickier than I thought it was gonna be.
That's right. Hurley told me, you see. He said that Daddy's somewhere far away now, so we can't meet.
That's one way to describe it.
Then, when I secretly unlocked the chest and read through the papers inside, I started to build up a picture in my head of what Daddy must be like.
Well, that's only natural.
You're just like any other girl of your age. I learned that Daddy was a professor of medical science, so I studied and took my degree too.
But, well, that's only natural, I suppose.
In that respect, you're not quite like any other girl of your age, though. But there was one thing that I could never find out. Daddy's name.
Wait, what? Ah,
His name wasn't anywhere on any of the notes that he'd made about his work with Hurley. But then one day,
that's what happened, is it? When you saw the autopsy report, you finally managed to work it out. Is that right?
yes,
So it was the handwriting in the report that caught her eye. Damn, this jerky so spicy. Yeah. Ah, the water made worse. In like a weird way. And at least all the bigger compounds somehow. That's a new one. The autopsy reports.
When I saw the writing on that report, I could hardly believe it. I know that handwriting. I thought to myself.
Because it was the same as the writing you've seen on your father's case notes.
Exactly. I was desperate to compare the two properly. I needed to see them side by side. I asked the doctor in the laboratory, but I was told I couldn't take the report away. And even worse, I was told that that was the first and last time we'd be allowed to even look at it there.
So you decided to steal it.
When I compared the autopsy report with the case notes I had here, there was no doubt. The handwriting was exactly the same. It was Dad's. And the signature of the coroner at the bottom of the autopsy report
read Dr. John H. Wilson.
So that's how I finally found out. I learned Daddy's name at last.
I see.
Ever since then, I've called myself Iris Wilson. And that's also when I had the brilliant idea of writing stories all about Daddy's exciting times with Hurley. I decided there and then that I'd write the adventures of Herlock Sholmes. Oh, Iris, I had no idea the stories had quite such a deep personal significance for you.
I can see why the autopsy report was so important to her now. And why she was prepared to break the law to get her hands on it.
I must apologize, Iris. This is really all my fault. Hurley! I made a promise, you see, until the time was right. I'd keep the details about your father a secret. I know. I've been very naughty. I'll take the autopsy report back to Dr. Gordy and apologize, I promise. Yes, we'll go together, I think.
Can I read it?
Then, let me look after it for you until we get there.
Ooh, Clint's autopsy report has been entered for record.
I must go and water my herbs, I think. I'll see you all later.
Poor Iris. She must be feeling awful. I know Mr. Sholmes is here for her, but still.
Ah! What? How? What's the meaning of this, Mr. Sholmes?
Mr. Sholmes?
Oh dear me. So, you've noticed, I see.
Knows what? Victim. Name Clint Van Zeeks, male. Coroner, Dr. John H. Wilson. Age 33, nationality British. Time of death, 31st of May, between 9 p.m. and midnight. Observation. The death from a single stab wound to the heart. Other superficial wounds indicate a duel. Additional notes. Recent scarlet ink stains visible on the little and ring fingers of the right hand, but no document corresponding ink was found. Autopsy findings. Vital evidence recovered from the victim's stomach during autopsy. Credit to Inspector Gregson for petitioning so doggedly for the autopsy procedure. No internal trauma was noted anywhere on the body. In the body. Dr. John H. Wilson. This isn't like the professor's other killings. This was a duel. Scarlet ink is odd. The little and ring finger to the right hand. So the last two fingers. Scarlet ink.
So, you've noticed, I see. But that would mean...
What on earth's the matter, Mr. Sato? You turned white as a sheet.
It's this autopsy report, Mr. Naruto. The one from 10 years ago. The writing isn't Dr. Wilson's at all.
Huh? What do you mean? How can you possibly know that?
Because I know this writing very well. This writing is my father's.
What? Professor Mikotoba's?
Indeed, it's true. And now you know, my dear fellows.
Oh. Who was Dr. Wilson then? Iris' sisters? Is the sister of Susato? What a twist! No! I don't know anything! What on earth does all this mean, Mr. Sholmes? This idea that's slowly forming in my mind. It's just too extraordinary to believe. Please, you have to explain. Just gonna have that piece of jerky. This is Asian jerky, so it's like sweet and like super hot. But that's like spicy for Asian people. Or into every Asian person that let try this. So I'm just being a bitch. That's my conclusion. It's good though. But my guy is not a slow heat. It's a... I have been pie chili marinated. Alright. The autopsy report writing. So, this autopsy report was actually penned by Professor Mikotoba then. But that makes no sense. It's not possible, surely.
Not possible, my dear fellow. Pray and take a deep breath and think again. Yes, you're right. In some ways, it actually makes a great deal of sense.
It does?
10 years ago, when father returned to Japan after his extended study tour in Britain. And prior to his return, where was Dr. Mikotoba engaged?
Of course. He was an assistant in Dr. Wilson's laboratory, learning about forensic science.
And as an assistant, he would have aided with the detection work, making detailed notes, which would be assembled into a further autopsy report. Once the work was complete, head coroner would check the contents and put his signature on the document. In other words, the only writing of Dr. Wilson's in the report would be his signature at the end.
I see. So Iris got the wrong end of the stick, you mean? She saw that and assumed the whole report had been written by Dr. John H. Wilson.
Which is very understandable, of course.
What a complicated situation. The details of Clint's autopsy report have been updated, Governor. So your partner then? thinking about it, most of what we know about you, Mr. Sholmes, comes from the published stories of your exploits.
Yes, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, written by Aris.
And we really have no way of knowing what's fact and what's fiction.
Most troubling for you, my dear fellow, I'm sure.
So what about the supposed partner of yours? Did he really exist or not?
Ah! You've come straight to the point, I see. And please come straight to the answer. I believe Aris explained it in one of her installments. He was a trusted comrade, and the only person I could truly have called a friend. And does this partner of yours truly make a record of all your cases? Are his notes really stored inside that metal chest? Absolutely, my dear madame. Absolutely.
So where is your partner now?
We rarely meet. You see, he lives on the other side of the world.
But if this autopsy report and the records of your old cases were penned by the same hand, and if the autopsy report was written, though not signed, by your famous partner, there would only be one logical conclusion.
Pray, impress me.
Your partner would have to be Yujin Mikotoba. In other words, Miss Usato's father.
Upon my word, Mr. Naruto.
Yes?
You're coming along wonderfully. You have hit upon the method at last. You finally grasped the art of deduction.
You mean to say...
Allow me to introduce you to my great friend and partner, Mikotoba.
Professor Mikotoba! Sholmes and Mikotoba.
Does this mean that you're the real Dr. Wilson?
No,
No, my dear. I'm still my old self. Yujin Mikotoba, your father. Oh, of course.
this is obviously too much for Susada to take in.
I must say, though, how my old friend has attained worldwide celebrity as a great mystery solver is the greatest mystery of all. I still remember the first time we met.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that they're both in the same room, same time.
Ah, pray remind me, when was it again, Mikotoba? 16 years ago, Sholmes. Ah, yes, quite, 16 years ago. I just arrived from Japan with Sashiro and Genshin. I was in search of lodgings close to the hospital. Some comfortable rooms at a reasonable price. But the rents are definitely high in that particular area. That's right. So I decided I need someone to share the lodgings and the expense. And was fortunate enough to be introduced to Sholmes, who found himself in a similar situation. I was a callow fellow back then, a mere shadow of the great detective you see before you now. I was working at the hospital chemical laboratory at the time, indulging my curiosities for a little gain. And the situation of our cohabitation led us to pursuing cases together, you see. Hard to believe, it was a mere 6 years ago. We had a great many adventures. But in the last year of Mikotoba's stay in Britain, that most infamous of cases presented itself. A case with which you've become rather familiar yourselves. the professor killings. After the trial, Sashiro and I were summoned back home. Hardly surprising, given the circumstances. So there you have it. And as you know, all the details recorded by my trusty chronicler remain in that metal chest. This is just amazing. Professor Mikotobo really is Mr. Sholmes' famous partner. Father, goodness, my dear, what a cutting look. As your daughter, I'm very proud to learn that you were the great detective's great partner. But nevertheless, there's another mystery that I really must ask you to explain now. And that is? You know very well what it is. The unresolved matter of Ars's father.
Ah, of course. I'd almost forgotten about that one.
I should have seen this coming, I suppose.
Ars' father.
Ars told us that all the notes of the great detective's adventures that are in that metal chest were written by her father. Isn't that correct, Mr. Sholmes? That is indeed what I told young Ars. But if you're Mr. Sholmes' partner, father, and you wrote all those case notes, then Ars' father must be you. Ah! Upon my word, Miss Susato, you're coming along wonderfully as well. You too have hit upon the method at last. You finally grasped the art of deduction. What? What you always told me, father, is that my mother died when I was born 16 years ago, and you left me in grandmother's care whilst you embarked on your study tour of Britain. And I've always accepted that. But all this about ours.
Oh, there it is. Susato-san's ice cold stare.
No, now hold on a minute. It was very complicated. I mean, it's really not what you think. Then perhaps you would like to explain what it is. Explain exactly what it is.
There it is. Now the eyes go from ice cold to red hot, just before she...
No, really, you've got the wrong end of the stick. Sholmes, say something, man. That's quite enough, my fiery fellows.
Mr. Sholmes? When did he get all dressed up?
Whilst I don't like to interrupt this exciting exploration of the past, Mikotoba and I have an urgent matter that requires a short excursion. But it's very late, Mr. Sholmes. Where must you go?
Oh, great, now I have hiccups.
Why, my dear madame, is that not obvious? My partner and I must pursue our natural enemies. So, get your coat, Mikotoba. The game is afoot. But Sholmes, I really must go. I really must give Susato a full explanation, I think. Later, my dear fellow, later. Our carriage awaits downstairs already. You haven't changed one iota, have you? I mean, really, I visit our home after 10 long years. And when I opened that chest in a fit of nostalgia, I quite inexplicably passed out. And as if that wasn't enough, when I eventually regained consciousness, I'm plunged straight into all this. Father, please, go with Mr. Sholmes now. What? I've no doubt that whatever happened, you were acting in everyone's best interests. I trust you, completely. Susato. And sending the great detective and his great partner off on renewed adventures together is more than I could have hoped for in my wildest dreams. Very well then, we shall speak again later. So, I believe your own work is done for the day. I wish you the very best of luck for tomorrow. Yes, Naruto, good luck in battle, and in reaching a decision.
A decision? About whether I could go back to Japan, I suppose?
So much happened that day that I barely knew what to do with myself. It would only be later that I'd come to realize how amidst the chaos I'd unleashed were all the clues I needed to finally unearth the truth. And that all the turmoil was necessary to give me the resolve to see everything through.
The hell do you mean end? But it's still the case. It's still the case. Oh, final. The resolve of Renosuke Naruhodo trial part 1. Final chapter. Resolve of Renosuke Naruhodo. Third November, 9:14 a.m. The Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber. So, the time's finally come. Today, we're unraveling everything.
I'll be counting on your
support more than ever today, Mr. Sato. Mr. Sato? Ah! God damn it! Why?
Oh no. What's the matter, Miss Naruto?
Nothing? I was just saying that I'll be relying on your support today, but...
I'm sorry, of course. I know I can be rather incompetent at times, but... I shan't let you down.
Would you mind helping me to my feet then?
Oh dear, I'm really very sorry.
Susato-san isn't her usual self at all. But that's probably surprising, I suppose. She just found out that her father is the partner of a world-famous detective. Not to mention...
Good morning, sir.
Lord Van Zeeks! Thank you for all your efforts yesterday. What? Did I hear that correctly? What? Oh, no, nothing. I hope we can clear things up today. I really can't make this man out. His face says, I hate you, but his words are almost jovial today. In fact, he hasn't been very Reaper-like at all since this all began yesterday.
Lord Van Zeeks isn't a Reaper, Mr. Naruto.
Good point. The Leaper. I suppose in hindsight, I shouldn't have allowed that misconception to go unchallenged. Huh? It was my tactic acceptance of that pseudonym. My failure to stop the Leaper becoming something more than a mere legend that led to all of this.
But you're not to blame for that, Miss Lord Van Zeeks.
It's only because serious crime in the capital dropped off so sharply when the public started calling you that. That's why you didn't say anything, isn't it? To be frank, I'm not sure that was the sole reason. What do you mean? There was a rumor at the time that the Leaper was really the ghost of my late brother. Having been slain by that evil killer, Clint's restless spirit returned as some sort of demigod. To wield a deadly blade of justice where I, didn't by the law, could not. Yes, we've heard that story too. Have we? When I lost him, I felt as though I lost my guiding light. I didn't know where to go or what to do. And so, in some small way, I wondered if perhaps those rumors made me feel his absence a little less keenly. Even if I knew it was just an illusion. Just some nonsense conjured by an over-imaginative public.
He was obviously extremely important to you. Lord Clint Van Zeeks.
Well, what's important now is uncovering the truth. That's all that matters. I know you didn't take anyone's life. And I intend to prove that beyond a shadow of a doubt in court today. I never thought I'd say this, but I can see it in your eyes. That burning desire to cut through all the lies and deception. I can't deny it any longer. You are a lawyer of absolute integrity. Thank you. Now, tell me. Why do I detect the scent of expensive tea leaves in the air? Oh, Iris. When did you get here?
Oh. I brought you one of my special blends. Hurley loves it. He says it helps him clear his head.
I thank you.
Oh.
That's surely the first and last time I'll ever see a sight like this. You seem different today, Iris.
Oh?
Sort of subdued, I suppose.
I am not.
What happened yesterday is obviously still playing on her mind a lot. She's clearly very troubled about having stolen that autopsy report from Dr. Sai's laboratory.
Alright then. Good luck to you both. I have to make a move now. Oh, you're not staying.
I thought you'd want to watch today's proceedings.
Well, I'd like to cheer you on, obviously. But I've got lots to get ready.
Get ready. For what?
Would you take this?
Isn't that one of your one of the little felt dolls that's usually dangling from your knapsack? That's not a great sign. Did my YouTube just crash?
Yes, it's Lucky Charm. A little Hurley that I made once.
Hurley? Looks more like a Harley to me. Oh, something's gone horribly wrong.
If for some reason you completely ran out of options in the trial today, you just pull this little Hurley's ears as hard as you possibly can.
What? Pull his ears.
That's right. It's the way to bring good luck. I think I might need it.
Okay, ours lucky charm has entered the courtroom.
Do you think what we'll need is luck? What a charming little rabbit, grabby version of Mr. Sholmes. Do you suppose this is how ours sees him? Are you alright, Mr. Naruto? Your eyes are variably boring into the poor doll's ears.
Oh, sorry. I was just wondering. What do you suppose would happen if I were to tug its ears with all my might right now?
I'm sure we'll find out when the time is right. To become a proper gentleman, you must learn stoic patience.
But I want to know.
I just sneaked a peek inside the courtroom, and it seems very different to normal.
Yes, it would seem that a certain someone had decided to board out all these stops. What does that mean?
What about Mr. Sholmes, Aris? I don't know. He was out all night, and he hadn't come home by the time I left this morning. Oh, I see.
Was Professor Mikotoba out all night too? Do you think, Mrs. Sato?
Yes, it would seem so. I telegrammed the hotel this morning. And apparently, they didn't come back to the rooms last night at all.
Eh?
Father and Judge Jikoku, I mean.
Judge Jikoku too.
That's right. Nobody appears to have seen either of them since yesterday.
Counsel for the defense and defendant. Court is about to be in session. Please make your way inside the courtroom at once.
Good luck in there, Luno. Good luck, Susie.
Yes. Thanks, Aris.
And you, Mr. Leaper. I hope it goes well.
Once again, I thank you for the delicious tea. It was very soothing.
Oh, I'm so glad. We must go inside now, Lord Van Zieks.
Lord Van Zieks has always been the formidable prosecutor I've had to lock horns with in court. But not today. Today I battle with another in pursuit of the truth. My best friend, Kazuma Asobi, who I trust more than anyone else in the world. Now I understand what it was that drew me here to Britain all those months ago. Now I know exactly what destiny had in store for me. It's all been leading up to this one day, to this one trial, to this one final reckoning. "3rd November, 9:30 a.m. The Old Bailey courtroom. It feels a bit more impressive here than it did yesterday. There are cold stares piercing me like knives from all sides today.
Mr. Naruto, look.
Oh! Lord Strongheart! Kazuma must have known beforehand. The ramifications of this trial now extend far beyond the murder of one Scotland Yard inspector. In fact, events have come to light that threaten to rock the very foundations of our country's legal systems. The escape of a condemned criminal on the night of his execution, the subsequent unlawful shooting of the man, and the revelation that prison staff must have been complicit in the jailbreak. Britain is currently hosting influential members of the judiciary from countries all over the world. It is imperative that we uncover the truth in these proceedings to avoid international embarrassment. By royal decree, this will continue to be a closed trial. And one over which I, male Strongheart, exercise total and unequivocal authority. The 6 jurors' flames just... As was the case in yesterday's proceedings, those here present in the public gallery are distinguished members of our judiciary, assembled to bear witness to a fair judicial process. In other words, a collection of your acolytes, Lord Strongheart. On a personal note, I find this most distressing, Lord Van Zieks. You are a prosecutor of exceptional talent, much like your brother Clint, in fact. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. For the trial of Barak Van Zieks, who officially stands accused of murder. Counsels for the prosecution and defense, are you in full readiness to proceed? The defense is ready, my lord. As is the prosecution. Yesterday's proceedings brought to light a shocking and disturbing fact. There was a side to the victim, Inspector Tobias Gregson, that was unknown to his superiors at Scotland Yard. Yes, he was carrying out operations in secret, which Scotland Yard knew nothing about. And in those clandestine operations, he had an accomplice, Mr. Daily Vigil, who would be given the inspector's identification and present himself around the capital in order to establish credible alibis for Gregson. In that way, Gregson appears to be carrying out his regular Scotland Yard work, when in fact he wasn't. At the end of yesterday's session, Mr. Vigil, who had been suffering from amnesia, regained his memory. It would appear he buried his memories of the time deep inside himself as a means of self-preservation. Because whilst he was engaging as chief warder at Barclay Prison, he abetted the convicts escape. Mr. Vigil is currently recuperating at St. Sinners. He's recovered enough to give a signed statement about his movements on the day prior to the incident. He's formally admitted to posing as Gregson whilst investigating the red-headed lead. Which brings us to the crucial issue of the victim's time of death. The defense yesterday proposed a suggestion that the victim may have been killed one day earlier. This was based largely on the discovery that the victim's pocket watch had not been wound. The prosecution has something to report on that subject, my lord. Really? Go ahead, prosecutor, sir. I met once again with the coroner yesterday to discuss the issue. She confirmed that the defense's suggestion could not be ruled out. It's entirely possible that Inspector Gregson was killed on 31st October, the day before his body was discovered. I have here an updated autopsy report that includes the amended details. But the official opinion of the investigation team was made clear yesterday. At the time of death was 5 p.m. on the 1st November. There are indications of an attempt to disguise the real time of death, however. It seems that the natural decaying process of the victim's body may have been slowed by keeping it chilled. That's out of the question. There are no refrigeration devices in that part of London large enough to accommodate a human corpse. My lord, this is more than just conjecture. There's evidence to support the idea. We must investigate it thoroughly. Very well. The court will accept the new report as evidence. However, if this updated report is deemed to be accurate, it would give a renewed significance to the movements of the victim on the day before the Fresno Street incident. It would, yes. Especially since on that day, Inspector Gregson was using Mr. Vigil to cover up his real movements. It's conceivable that he was killed in the course of his secret activities. Do I sense that the prosecution has some sort of information regarding those activities? Scotland Yard has put enormous effort into investigating that precise matter yesterday. I think we should begin by presenting the results of that investigation. So the prosecution calls its first witness now. Ugh, man, I am just fumbling all of my words. Say your name and occupation for the court.
Inspector Gina Lestrade, reporting representative of Scotland Yard.
A self-conferred rank, but never mind. Gina? Again?
What's your problem, Odo? What with that Gina again? Look, eh? Ah. The boss meant the world to me. He's done more for me than anyone else ever did.
Oh? Inspector Gregson, you mean?
He got me out the back slums of the East End and took me under his wing. Taught me that life can have a purpose. So that's why I'm the best person to be standing here speaking for him. Oh, Gina.
Right. Of all the goodness of Gregson's heart, not at all that he had his arm twisted by Mr. Sholmes, no. What's relevant to the proceedings is that the outcome of Scotland Yard's investigation yesterday has revealed that the victim was carrying out some assignment the police knew nothing about. Very troubling. That face. Lord Strongheart knew. So, Inspector Lestrade, let's hear exactly what it says in that report.
Coming right up, sir.
Witness testimony. The victim's movements.
All the yard's detectives are supposed to follow orders and investigate what they're told. But a little search of the boss's office turned up a notebook that had loads of secret meetings in it. According to that, the boss was looking into some smuggled goods dealings just at the day. Looks like it was a big job and all, but the coppers weren't onto it yet. What matters most is there's witnesses what saw the Reaper at the place too.
Smuggled goods?
I don't know, do I? I'm just telling you what was written in the book.
Tobacco, tea, spices, medicines. Goods of all sorts flow into London by illegal channels from across the globe. It's well known that they dispose of regular black markets they're disposed of at regular black markets that take place in the capital. But the police are rarely able to locate them in time. So Inspector Gregson was investigating one of those black markets? It has been suggested that high-ranking government officials may be involved in black market activities. No doubt Gregson was trying to avoid details of his investigations being leaked to the involved parties. That will explain why he was operating on his own authority, without the Yard's knowledge. And do we know where the dealings were taking place this time? In a particular room of a certain exclusive London gentlemen's club. On the day in question, the accused is known to have been there. That's the conclusion of Scotland Yard's investigation into the matter.
It can't be. We haven't heard anything about any of this.
Members of the club have testified to it. There's no question. The accused, Rock Van Zeeks, was present. That would be very significant testimony then.
Oh my, but Prophet Zeeks has made no mention of this at all.
In short, Lord Van Zeeks had ample opportunity to murder the victim. Very well then. Counsel for the defense, begin your cross-examination. Cross-examination. The victim's movements.
All yard detectives are supposed to follow orders and investigate what they're told.
Hold it!
So, you follow orders, do you, Gina?
Nah, not me. I'm above all that, you see.
Oh.
The boss always adds special orders for me. Promise some fish and chips, or go and give Toby his glove, that kind of thing.
So errands, more than orders then. This detective is still an apprentice after all.
Yeah, well, this apprentice ain't one to sit around and wait to be told what to do, even by the boss. That's why I've been doing my own investigations into what happened. I didn't find much at first. But a little search over the boss's office turned up a notebook that had a load of secret meetings in it.
Hold it!
So you went through Inspector Grayson's things?
Yep. As part of the independent Lestrade investigation.
I'm sure your superiors would be delighted that you're taking the initiative.
So I snuck into his office when no one else was about. Because if anyone else at the yard had seen me going in there, they'd have turned me straight out onto the street. This is sounding less and less like an investigation and more like something else.
The prosecution understands that it was this very detective who discovered the notebook.
You got that right. Nothing gets past Inspector Lestrade and her trusty assistant, Chief Inspector Toby. We found it hidden in one of the desk drawers that had a false bottom.
That's impressive.
So then, I went to hide myself where no one could find me. So I could have butchers. So I could have butchers at what was written in it. Perhaps if anyone at the yard had found me out, they'd have turned me straight out on the street. I've given it in now though, ain't I? And if it weren't for me, it would never have been found. God damn, her slang always gets me. According to that, the boss was looking for some smuggled goods dealings that day.
Hold it!
Do you have any idea where those dealings were taking place?
Yep. It was all it was all there in the boss's notes. Let's see if I can remember.
As I already said, the illegal dealings were due to take place at a gentleman's club. Yes, I remember. But I was hoping to find out the name of the club. That won't be necessary.
What?
It's conceivable that the club might be used again by the smugglers in the future. Therefore, the prosecution has been asked not to reveal the name in these proceedings.
I don't know what all the fuss is about. It's right here. All I've got to do is read it out. And I could too. I've got this reading game, but not now. Can I show you what I can do? Go on. What's the on? The judge hasn't signaled his objection yet. I could try to find out. What should I do?
Well, might as well insist on it. What's the worst gonna happen? This is a close court. The proceedings are confidential. There shouldn't be any possibility of the information being leaked. As I explained, there is some possibility of politicians being involved in this affair. The prosecution is rightfully exercising caution, I imagine. No, my lord. The prosecution has no objection. Kazuma? There is no question that Inspector Gregson was looking into these black market dealings. However, it's not yet been established that he was on that particular trail on the day in question. If the defense requires to know the club's name, the prosecution has no intention of being obstructive.
Right then. I can show off me reading skills. Apparently, the smuggled goods deals were gonna happen at Gentleman's Club called the Grouse.
Why do I feel like we know the name?
Hold it!
The Grouse? What sort of club is that?
I ain't got the foggiest. Close ain't exactly my thing. But I am kind of curious.
They're not places where a foreign student like you would be readily admitted. Have you looked in the mirror recently?
I tell you what, me and Chief Inspector Toby could go in undercover. Could you though? I could pick out a few good marks and see what else I could find out while I was in there.
I really don't think you should go picking out anything. Anyway, that's where these black market dealings were going to take place, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gotta be. That's what the lower ranking detectives at the yard reckon.
Says the even lower ranking detective. Alright, I'm gonna call it a night there because it is hitting my bedtime. But man, we're at the final case, huh? No idea how it's gonna lead. But until then, thank you everyone who joined me today, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.